owns 2 career PBA regional titles. The 2018-19 USBC Greater Denver Male Bowler of the Year is Kris Koeltzow.
All right, go get it here, kid. I'm fired up for this young man. Head mechanic at Holiday Lanes in Lakewood, Colorado, and here he is rolling with the big boys. First time under the lights of TV. What do you got, Kris?
Pretty awesome start there for a guy that's never experienced anything like this.
A 2-time member of Team USA and 3-time All-American at San Jose State. He made 4 TV finals in 2020. Darren Tang.
Last year, Darren Tang, a 2nd place finish, a 3rd place finish, a 4th place finish. Don't have to do the math, Randy, to know what he's missing and what he wants this year.
You're all about the numbers, too.
I am. A little bit of a number fetish here on the first show. Rob, Randy, Belmo, Kimberly back here with you for the West Region Finals of the PBA Players Championship. You're looking live at Kris Koeltzow, the number 5 seed, 29-year-old from Wheat Ridge, Colorado. Head mechanic at Holiday Lanes, making his TV debut, and he is going to do it by dropping 4 straight here. His first professional ham bone. You're welcome, Kris Koeltzow.
Well, that was the big hurdle that he crossed there. The first was the first couple of shots on television for the first time. The second is coming out of commercial break and just acing it.
Well, he's had things, Belmo, go his way so far. Comfortable under the lights, not a big crowd to intimidate him. And the fact that Darren Tang opened up with an open frame in the second, I think took a lot of pressure off the big man's shoulders.
Yeah, I think all of those things are taken into effect, and he's taken full advantage of it.
5 in a row, little Yahtzee for the big man from Colorado.
I think he likes the pattern as well, and obviously loves his ball reaction. He sees a little bit of miss area on the lanes, both left and right.
The one thing that I'm hoping he's thinking about is under the lights, the transition of the oil pattern will occur faster than usual.
Tang down 22. His effort in the 9th.
Yeah, way inside of target there, Randy. And once his bowling ball didn't see that friction to the right, he lost all of that angle into the pocket. And at 400 RPM, he's not going to get those off hits like a Kris would. So it's he'll know tactically he's still in this, but he's got to make this spare and he's got to strike out.
The story, though, this is Koeltzow's to lose. Right through the nose.
Yeah, high lead in the fast 8, not real good because they loses 2 pins and count, and that will take a little bit more pressure off of Kris Koeltzow here in the 10th frame.
The nonverbals tell it all. So now, Jace, what should he do with his time? He's got 2 free shots here, essentially.
Well, you want to stay in the moment. You want to make sure you're still executing really well. But you may also want to just throw a different ball just to see what's going to happen. As we saw that shot right there, it's the same ball, still a lot of surface on it, and that one left the 10 pin. It was a really good shot, but left the 10 pin. So now he's going to start thinking, what is my next move? And with that transition happening under lights, he'll have to make it quick. He's about to bowl one of the hottest players in the last 3 years. So
Kris Koeltzow, your 5 seed, has moved on. He's got the 3 seed, Jacob Buttress. Koeltzow up first. Strike first, strike hard.
This guy's got a monster of a look, doesn't he, Jason?
Buttress, your 3 seed here in the West. He's got some double wood to deal with.
All right, so what did you want to talk about right before we went to break?
Well, so we spoke with Jacob Buttress, and I said, hey, Jace, either Kimberly, yourself, or we asked the question, how do you describe 2020? He goes, decent, but it wasn't, 2019, my breakout year, and you jumped in, you said it wasn't decent. It was a word that started with D, though.
It was a disaster.
Disaster.
I mean, think about the year before when he finished runner-up to Player of the Year to Jason Belmonte. I mean, last year was just brutal for Jacob. I mean, we got used to him winning and making a lot of TV shows and making a lot of money, and
you have to have a little luck,
absolutely,
to win on the tour. Oh boy.
Looks like he's throwing a black hammer on that lane, a purple hammer on the left lane, and this right lane has always been tighter down lane throughout the competition here, and it looks like the same thing on Jacob's side of the lane.
This will be the toughest spare conversion of the day so far. 3-7. Converted only 18% of the time. And again, it's an open frame for the gentleman that Kelso is bowling against.
I came up with something different.
Just his name, like, but without even seeing him, I said, with a name like Kris Koeltzow, you need a nickname.
Yeah.
He's got a little Bam Bam Bigelow look to him. But here's Kelso going for the front 7, and he's got it. And Randy, Belmo, we've got an alert. We've got a PBA on Fox bowling alert coming up. We are officially chasing 300.
I love it. It's great. But right now, it's all Kris Koeltzow. And I'll tell you what, he's sending a message to the PBA Tour that this guy is for real.
Oh, come on! My stupid 7-pin.
You got to be kidding me.
That ball rolled a pinch earlier, held its line, and the way that it went through the pins, I thought, yep, there's another one. I don't know how the 7-pin stood. That's not right. That's unfair. Re-rack. Do it again.
Unreal. But you know what?
Oh, how does that miss it?
That's crazy. That might be a blessing in disguise.
Jacob Buttress down as well, as Buttress done with a 213. This was an emphatic victory for Kelso.
Yeah, just like all over him, like a bulldog on a pork chop from frame 1, and just relentless, never let up.
Had the unfortunate spare in the 9th where the 7-pin denied him his continued quest for 300. Gets back on the strike train here in the 10th. He's got 2 more shots.
Simple math's 268.5.
You've got it, my friend. Well done. Your 5 seed set to take on 2 seed Wesley Low. Kelso, killer Kelso up first. Strike first, strike hard.
At 15, he is the youngest player to ever win a PBA regional tournament. The 4-time PBA regional champion, Wesley Low Jr.
Wesley from Palmdale, 23 years old. Real engaging kid. This is his 2nd year on the Pro Tour. He starts with a strike as well. Williams, Benji Martinez, AJ Chapman as well. The story today, though, that man, Kris Koeltzow. You jerk.
Well,
7-pin, come on.
Last game it was a 7-pin, only a little bit different type that stopped him after he had the front 8. This time it's a 7-pin in the 6th.
If it's a problem, you want it to be a 7-pin problem. That's a question mark.
Well, as opposed to leaving 10 pins, I would say probably, yeah. If you're leaving 10 pins, that's never a good thing, whether it's a weak 10 or a ring 10. The ball's not going through the pins the right way. I mean, both of those shots there could have struck very, very easily. And so, yeah, I'd rather see the 7-pin standing than a 10-pin.
He told us it's always been his desire to be on the tour. Wanted to bowl the Masters, some of the bigger tournaments. He's more of a part-time player, but he's putting on a full-time performance today. That's the first time today he's left that 4-pin.
I think it's the first shot he's gone high on. Remember the one shot he tugged? He didn't like it at all. It went dead flush. But I think that's the first time today. In fact, it is the first time today that he's gone remotely high.
Well, right there on the Kegel Spectre, the ball at the arrows was at 15.5 balls. That's 2 boards further right at the arrows than what he has been rolling with, which means he's going to get to that friction sooner. Ball over reads, 4-pin. Now this makes it a really interesting match coming down the 9th and 10th. If I'm really honest, I don't want to see Kris on television.
No, I do.
I'm scared of the guy right now.
Who likes an avalanche?
Right? Especially a little nasty avalanche.
Yeah.
Well, the next time you might see him, the TOC Belmo, which will be the next tournament that you're available for, back here in Jupiter. Live coverage on Fox Sports, February 28th for the TOC. Kelso just needs 5 to move on to the title match. And he is title match bound.
A 7-time PBA champion with 2 major titles, the youngest ever to win a major, and then 2 majors, is Anthony Simonsen.
Rob, did you know that he was the youngest to ever win a major?
I think I've heard that now 3 times today. And it's a slim down, Anthony, as well. We talked about Jacob Buttress, Jason having a new focus off the lanes. I think you're seeing it in Mr. Simonsen as well.
Like we said, I think he is well aware of what it's going to take to have longevity at the top.
This is also a first. It's the first time that Kelso has not started a match today. Another pocket 7.
Wow.
And both on that left lane, Jason.
Yeah, and this time in the 2nd frame, not the 9th. So
is that worse?
Absolutely. You know, so now we're looking at Anthony getting up and taking the lead early. I don't think there's been a match today that Kris has been behind in the match.
He's pulled away from the outset in all 3 prior matches.
So even that, little things like that can sometimes just play on your mind ever so slightly.
It's a great point. He has not trailed once today. Well, the only way that he can go straighter from right of where Kelso is playing is by throwing it really hard. And that time he kind of missed it at the bottom of the swing and left that flat 10. When he said, I'm going to work harder, I'm going to practice more.
Great break for Double K there. Yeah, got away clean-ish. Needs to clean this one up, though. Takes care of the single pin. Simonsen, 7 tour titles, 2 majors, 4 times, though, a runner-up last season. So that's 3 in a row now for your 1 seed.
Even again. Now Kris is behind in the match. He's going onto the lane he may not feel as comfortable on now. That's a really impressive double from Anthony.
Well, you touched on it early on. He never really read the transition on that right lane. And after going high and almost leaving the big 4, he comes right back with a Greek church.
I'm not entirely sure he had to read any transition until right now. I think he got away from it. I think the number of left-handers on the TV show helped limit the amount of transition. Anthony's come onto the set, bowled his practice shots, bowled a few extra shots, and now he's starting to see that transition.
His first open frame of the afternoon.
And not at a good time.
Correct.
You know, he's coming late into the game. Anthony's only left the 1 spare in the 3rd frame. The tricks, the tools, and I've said it again multiple times in the past that the only thing that was ever preventing Anthony from really achieving greatness was himself getting in his own way. And now that he's maturing, I can start to see, what I think his potential is, and he's going to make me work really hard for the back half of my career to try and add to my resume.
This is not a PBA Tour title right now, but it's certainly going to feel like one, and it obviously puts Anthony in contention to win his third major. A new format this year at the PBA Players Championship. Players internationally and domestically being assembled in 5 different regions. A really intelligent approach to this PBA season. We're all dealing with a lot of things in life right now with what's going on with this pandemic, and the PBA making this tournament accessible to everybody. Kind of a almost a March Madness type vibe to it, where you get all the different regions coming together and then they coalesce together for the Final Four. Well, it'll be the Final 5 in a couple weeks here in Jupiter.
Turner Janitorial Services. Looking forward to being on in a few more weeks.
Anthony will be there as well.